I would love to introduce you to the fun that you are missing out on. It's fun that lasts the whole week. It doesn't cost any money. It'll make you laugh. It'll increase your happiness, your health, your hope. You know, who can't use those? And it only takes 2 to 3 minutes a week to do. Are you interested? I'm MK Mueller, back with more from the 8 to Great lessons. We teach skills that help people be happier, healthier, and more successful at whatever. And they're little things that make a whole lot of difference. So if you're ready to find out about the fun you've been missing on, here we go. Years ago, I decided how to make my week, my month, and my years more fun. Who doesn't want more fun in their life? I say it sprinkles your life with surprises and drizzles your life with delights. And again, it only takes 2 to 3 minutes a week. So what we're going to do is going to require only 2 things, those 2 to 3 minutes and a book of some kind. It could be stapled together pieces of paper in a folder. It could be a book like this size. It could be a book like this size. It doesn't matter, but just some place where you can come back to looking at what you're going to write down once a week. It's kind of a check-in. Okay? So, as soon as you have those 2 things, you are ready to go. 2 to 3 minutes a week and this book, and I suppose a pen will help as well. All right, so here's the deal. On these videos on my channel, you are going to hear about amazing, amazing miracles that people have trouble believing. How I got a free trip up to Hawaii, how I lived for free in a home for an entire year with all expenses, even utilities paid. What? How I had a baby that 3 surgeries and 5 gynecologists said I could never have. And not just the miracles that have happened to me, but the miracles that have happened to other folks who I've been able to teach this process to, like Michael, who went from giving up on his music dream to getting on American Idol in Los Angeles. So we're going to talk about those bigger miracles down the road, but what people don't realize is it has to start off with small, little small, what I call manifestations. Now you might have heard of the word manifesting. Well, I call this process manifesting because it comes faster. The little things, the little surprises, the little drizzles of delight come even faster when you do this 2 to 3 minute a week activity. All right, so you ready? Every week, get out that pad and that pen and write down 20 things that you want. But there are rules for those 20 things. At least 5 of them need to be really general, like surprise money, or a surprise nature delight, or a surprise phone call from an old friend, or, you follow me? At least 5 of them need to be very general. My favorite, most general one is delightful surprise. There we go. Oh yeah, isn't that great? Okay. Then 5 of them need to be things you don't really want. In other words, it'd be goofy to have them, but you don't care. Like a blue feather, or coming across the number 888. That's one of my favorites. Or finding a license plate with a message on it just for you. You follow me? So again, 5 of them are about general things. Health insight, an insight into your health. Just something really general. 5 of them then are things that you really don't care if you get or not. They're just there for, a heart-shaped rock or a heart-shaped leaf or something that's heart-shaped. Even a heart-shaped shell here in Florida. So again, we've got 5 and 5. Now the next 5 need to be mediums. And a medium is something that's a little larger. For example, a compliment from someone very special to you, or you get something for free, or you have a breakthrough, let's say in your weight, or a breakthrough in your workout, or a breakthrough in investing. Okay, whatever, just a breakthrough. Maybe it could be a breakthrough with a relationship with a coworker. The last 5, big. Make them big. Someone comes in and surprise redecorates my home as a gift. Whoa, that'd be big. That'd be fun for me. That'd be really fun. I'm not the best at decorating. Or a free vacation, that'd be a big one. Or for me, being invited to speak at a national conference. Those are always big ones, okay? I love those. Or international conference, done quite a few of those as well. Or being asked to give another TED Talk, again, would be a big one for me. Winning a contest, winning a big prize, winning a big lottery ticket. Get it? So those 5 can be the really, really big ones. Like, finding my true love. There's a big one, right? So whatever those big 5 are, that's fine. Okay, so we've got, let's review. The first ones we have are general, really general. Something that could be like, for nature surprise once, I wrote down nature surprise. And I find this armadillo in my backyard. Yeah, big guy. Oh my gosh, I'd never seen an armadillo before, let alone right there at my back door. I went, hello, hello. Well, hello. It's an amazing creature. A friend of mine wrote down nature surprise, and she was driving along and she saw 20 baby boars. Yeah, B-O-A-R. We have those in Florida. I've never seen a boar of any size. She sees 20, she says, she's pretty sure it was at least 20 baby boars by the side of the road as she's driving through Florida. Hello. So those would be nature surprises, right? So again, something very general. The second one is something that you really don't care. It's just really goofy. I want a car with a clown in it. That really doesn't make any difference. Just again, something kind of crazy that you really don't care about. The third one are medium-sized manifestations. And the 4th set of 5 are really big dreams. I'm invited to a free cruise. Yes. I meet my governor, might be a big one for you, or a movie star, or a sports, right? A famous athlete. Doesn't make any difference what those biggies are for you. Again, you'll figure that out. Now, why these different categories? Great question. Because when we only ask for the big things, then we're sitting around going, how come it hasn't happened yet? How come it hasn't happened yet? You see, a lot of things have to line up for a really big change to happen in your life. In other words, you can't be the same person you are and attract a really big, wonderful change. You have to grow into that change. Does that make sense? You can't manifest a big, beautiful shift until you are ready to make an internal shift of believing you are worth it. Yes, believing you are deserving, believing that it's possible. Well, it's hard to believe that you're going to get on American Idol, for example, if you've never even won a singing contest locally. So the first thing you set down, it's not, by the way, could you go right from never having won a singing contest to American Idol? Oh, people do it all the time. But that's because they believe it's possible. They believe it's possible. It's harder to believe the big things are possible if you haven't seen the smaller things come true and manifest. Now, again, it's not impossible. Some people can do it, but for most of us, we need the stepping stones, and the stepping stones are believing in, remember those first two categories? Believing in the things that are general categories, and then all of a sudden they show up, and then believing in the small things, or believing that, not even believing, just asking for things like a blue feather or a heart-shaped rock. You don't really care about those. And guess what? Because you don't care about them, you won't resist them with thoughts like, why isn't this here? Because as long as you're only having neutral thoughts or positive belief thoughts, whatever you ask for will come to you. Again, I'm going to talk about all the reasons why. Those are in another video. But just today, just know, this is going to add so much fun to your life. Let me just tell you a couple of quick examples. So I make lists. I teach a class called How to Ask and Manifest. That's what I'm doing these days. And so I have, let me know if you're interested in that class. And so over the years, I've been teaching it for many, many years, I've asked for flowers from time to time. Okay, so instead of a general nature surprise, I simply say, I want flowers. I don't care how the flowers come, I just want flowers. And they've come 3 different ways over the years, probably come a dozen different ways, but 3 that are coming to mind right now. The first one was, I wasn't dating anybody at the time, really didn't have anybody who I expected to give me flowers, but one night my mom called and she was all distraught. She had, Dad had recently passed, a few years before that, and she was dating a guy, and dating at 70 was just a different thing than it had been when she was in her 20s. So she was asking me things, and they'd had a little tiff, and oh, is this the end of things? And I said, no, Mom, it's not the end of things. And I talked her through things and calmed her down. And sure enough, the next day, she went into the conversation with a nice neutral tone, and everything was fine. Well, that afternoon, I got this huge bouquet, just humongous bouquet of flowers. And I said, who sent me this? My mother. Here I had asked for flowers, and my mother sent me this huge. Now, did she know I'd asked for flowers? Of course not. No one knew. It was just on my list. It was just on my little list, huh? Another fun story of how I got flowers was I asked for flowers, and I just started dating this guy. Well, I don't know, it's our second or third date, and he mentions that he's a master gardener. I said, what's a master gardener? Well, I got an earful of what a master gardener was, and he loved flowers. And when I went over to see his apartment, he had this back porch full of pots of beautiful flowers. Oh my gosh. Well, don't you know, once he found out that I loved flowers, every time he came over, he brought me another pot of flowers. Now, thank heavens, at the time, I had a big, beautiful home with big, beautiful patio that had lots of room for pots of plants for a while. And all of a sudden, we were going to have a get-together for my son's graduation, and I said, uh-oh, half of these have to go. It's just no room for chairs. All these pots. So I had asked for flowers, and boy, had I gotten flowers. And the third one was in the middle of the winter. Omaha, Nebraska has winters, really, really good snowstorms. One of the reasons I'm not living there anymore. But at the time, it was just the normal winter snowstorm in Omaha. And I had asked for flowers that week. In the middle of the winter is a good time to ask for flowers. And I got stuck. It was a traffic jam. Somebody up ahead was stuck in the snow. And there we sat for 20 minutes. all that traffic behind that truck or car that was stuck. And guess who I was stuck behind? The Roses truck from Hy-Vee grocery store. I guess that's all they did was delivered flowers. I don't know, but the entire back of that truck was a picture of roses. You know, could have been worse sitting there for 20 minutes looking at something else, but I got to look at roses. Okay, so why is this so delightfully fun? Because during the week, those things are going to start popping up. Now, why you have 20 is not because you expect to manifest all 20 in 1 week, certainly not. But the fact that you do have 20 means you aren't over focusing or worrying or looking at your watch saying, why isn't it here, about any one of them. So it allows you to be in a more receptive place in your spirit and in your psyche. Okay, so as soon as we're ready to receive, all we have to do is ask and be ready to receive, and it, whatever it is, can come into your life. Again, there will be many, many, many videos on this channel on this topic, but I just wanted to give you this one little piece to get started on because it's so fun immediately and it's so easy. Okay, so you've spent that 2 to 3 minutes, let's say on a Sunday. You take those 2 to 3 minutes every Sunday to write that list. Well, then you bring it up. Then the next Sunday you're going, oh, okay, all right, well, okay, that's okay. And you go through and sure enough, you're going to start checking them off. Every time, I guarantee you, one of those 20, often 5 or 10 of those 20, but many of them, oh yeah, I did have that. Oh yes, I did have that. Now, I'm just going to tell you about my one that happened this week because, again, it just made me giggle. So I was looking for tabs to put in one of my books. I'm re-editing one of my books, and I needed those little, those little stickers. They're colorful stickers that you put on the pages, and they stick out. They're really thin and about this long. And so I said, oh, wouldn't it be great to have those little stickers? I know I have them somewhere. I looked in 6 different places. I was sure that I had some, but couldn't find. I said, okay, well, all right. Is Office Depot open now? Oh, I don't know. Do I have time to go to Office Depot? Oh, well, maybe I'll go tomorrow to Office Depot to get those little sticky tabs. And then I opened up a gift bag that I had received the night before at a dinner I was at. And so they'd given us little gift bags. And I had, oh, isn't this a cute little pen? This is a darling pen. And inside that bag was this little book. It says, sometimes you forget you're awesome. So this is your reminder. Isn't that cute? Now, you might notice that there are different colors here at the bottom. What are those colors about? Well, I didn't know. And I opened it up. And there they were. The exact tabs that I needed at that moment were right there. You don't have to believe me, but isn't it worth giving a try? And what I'd love you to do is comment below. So if you really give this 2 or 3 weeks of writing down your 20 things in some kind of a book, and then coming back every Sunday to see how many manifested, checking them off. Oh, it's not just a delight on Sunday when you check them off. It's a delight throughout the week when you realize, oh, there's my delightful surprise for the week. Not that I'm limited to one, but there's one of my delightful surprises for the week. Well, I truly hope you'll give that a chance, and I truly hope that you're subscribing to this channel so you can hear all the rest of the little tools that we have. I so appreciate you being here with us. Until next time.